Well, here we go again. It's Trivium time. So if you're new here, I'm not the biggest Trivium fan in the world. However, I've been giving you guys the opportunity to get me into this band. You guys have been absolutely incredible suggesting songs for me to react to. So far, we've been checking out the band's earlier material from the Ascendancy album and Shogun. And I've got to say, so far, my favorite, without a doubt, has been Kirasu Egomen from the Shogun album. So that song has kind of set the bar for me in terms of what's been my favorite so far. However, today we're going to be moving on to a different album. I believe we're leaping forward quite a bit here over to the In Waves album. And the song we're going to be checking out is Caustic, Are the Ties That Bind. Now, I will say the song In Waves itself is quite ubiquitous, so I have heard that one before. So going off of what I've heard from that song, this album's got a really good, tight production, which excites me. I'm really looking forward to getting into this one, so once again, thank you guys so much for participating and thank you for your votes. So without further ado, this is Caustic, Are the Ties That Bind. Yeah, that's good. So I'm loving this whole call and response idea that we've got going on here with the chords sort of doing the jabs and then little licky things in the middle. Okay, we've got ourselves a 4th fret song, and 4th fret songs are my favorite kind of metalcore songs ever. They're really, really fun to play on guitar because your root note, being 4th fret, isn't the lowest note you can play. There's other notes in the key. It really gives the songs a real sense of movement, if you like, being able to drop down into those lower notes. And obviously being like a big Bullet for My Valentine fan, you know, think of songs like Pretty on the Outside, Ashes of the Innocent, Waking the Demon, obviously being the big one there. These 4th fret songs tend to be sort of like the most emotive songs in metalcore. There's quite like a rally to them, if you like. They're quite anthemic and sort of upbeat at times. But the choices of notes that you can play with them really make for strong emotive songs. So I'm really happy that we're doing this one today because yeah, 4th fret songs are the best. Let's keep going. So the guitar tone is absolutely on point here. The bass sort of like punching through sounds great. The vocals feel really dialed back compared to Shogun. And I'm not so sure why that is. They feel a little bit like buried in there a little bit. And I'm not sure why they would go for that unless it's just the way I'm hearing it. They don't sound as strong as they do on Shogun. I believe we've leapt forward a little bit here. And I know in between somewhere Matt did have vocal issues, so I'm not sure if that's playing into it a little bit. I don't know if it might be a little bit of insecurity, you know, or him just trying to find his way into doing heavier vocals again. You guys will have to tell me what sort of period this falls into. But yeah, they seem a little bit lacking again, which is a bit of a disappointment compared to the Shogun stuff. But either way, everything's sounding really good and strong so far. I like that sort of point of tension they've got in the riff there, if you like. So it's your classic it's your classic pedal point metalcore riff, but it's interesting because the notes that you would usually play in the key is sort of like your fours and twos, right? But they're introducing the idea of the 3rd fret there, which I guess would be kind of like a major 7, so it's giving it like a harmonic minor idea at that point, and that will always give you a sense of tension. So if you're on your root, And then, you know, when you're coming back around to resolve the riff, if you throw that harmonic minor note in there, it just kind of like gives the tension. And by the time you come back and you resolve it to the root, it gives it that sense of relief. So it's really good songwriting. It's tricks that we've all seen before, but you know, if you know where this stuff is coming from, you can start to implement it in your own writing, which in my opinion is what it's all about, right? Or at least makes learning the songs a lot easier. You can go, oh, that's the harmonic minor note. Again, with scales, I view them as tools. They've all got altered notes in them that introduce like an ingredient to a meal, and each ingredient is gonna react with a meal in a certain way. It's gonna introduce a new flavor. And again, you know, doesn't matter what scale I'm playing, whether it's harmonic minor, natural minor, Phrygian dominant, you know, I'll ask myself, well, what's unique about this scale? What flavor does it have, and what's it going to introduce to the song? So the choice there to go harmonic minor, it's like they obviously want a point of a little bit of tension and then a bit of release. So you bring that note in, and that will hopefully give you the idea of tension and release. So yeah, very good songwriting. I love how they're stacking those big suspended notes on top of the chords, the chord hangs down the bottom, so like that, right? It really adds to the depth of the instrumentation when you do stuff like that, and you add extensions onto your chords. These suspended chords, they've got kind of like an ambiguity to them, because they're not really major or minor, but they just really brighten everything up, right? So rather than just going, you know, on the power chords down the bottom, you know, which can sound a little bit flat, it really adds depth. I love the single note riff idea as well, that, you know, really anthemic. The key itself and the positioning on the guitar, it's got so much movement, and it makes for such interesting and fun riffs to play. There's a lot of energy to be had out of this one. I love that little lick. Let me listen to that again. That's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I love that. So what he's doing there, he's just playing fifths. He's making a lick out of where we're at in the chord progression. So if you think about it, it's 4 and then open, right? So if you've got your open power chord right there, which is a D5, I guess, you've also got it here. Okay? So when the lower guitars are stabbing down there, he's making licks out of that chord, if you like. So you don't always have to overcomplicate things, you know what I mean? He's making licks out of chords. And then that's the all emotional one right there, isn't it? We've heard that so many times. Right? If you want to hit him in the gut, you play those notes, right? Very, very, very cool. I love that first one as well. So again, he's just following the chords with higher versions of them. So there's your first chord. It's the same idea, he's just playing it as single notes, an octave higher. As far as what the rest of the notes are, I've got no idea. Something like that. something like that. Very, very clever, I would say, because again, I'm repeating myself here, but take the pressure off of yourself when you're looking for something complicated in between your stabby notes if you're writing this kind of riff. If you've got a progression that goes, find those notes higher up. It's just power chords, it's just fifths at that point. We all know the score with that one. And then just ask yourself, what if I play it differently? You've got a lead line now, which is just literally made of the same chords that the main rhythm guitar is doing. So, yeah, very cool. Very good. Those cleans are very Hetfield-esque, sort of very barky, aren't they? And I know he got a lot of flack for sounding like James. I stumbled across a song just recently. I could not tell you the name of it, but it sounded like pre-Black Album era Hetfield, just when they were moving into doing that album. And it's funny though, because like for me, Hetfield is, one of my favorite artists ever. You channel your influences at the end of the day, So I don't know why Heafy got so much flack for sounding a bit like James. It's just like, if you've got the ability to do that, like, why wouldn't you want to do that? You know what I mean? And why wouldn't people enjoy that? It confuses me. And I don't think Trivium necessarily ripped Metallica off, although I've not heard much of the thrashy stuff where people might say that they did, but at the end of the day, you're going to use your influences. At the end of the day, if you love Metallica's music, the music that you write, it's gonna manifest somehow, whether it's just like the riffing or the singing or the structures of the songs and stuff, it's going to happen. But to me, this sounds nothing like Metallica. It's just got a little bit of influence in there, which is absolutely fine. Again, that one note in the middle there just makes all the world a difference and adds so much tension. Breakdown time? Guitar solo time? Oh, even better. Clean guitar. Okay. Oh, love that. Okay, get me my clean tone. Let me listen to that again. That's great. Okay, I get it. Okay, so he's basically just taken the bottom notes from and then playing them an octave higher, so. And listen to how shiny that D-suspended sounds on the end there. And one thing I will always say, as a guitar player, I'm always looking for pretty chords, without a doubt, but I'm also looking for what open notes I can get away with playing. So whenever I'm writing or whatever it is, I'll always try and find what notes I can play as open, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make things sound really sort of bright and jangly, if you like, especially when it comes to clean passages. But that's really nice. Love that. Very nice. I really like that. Hang on a minute. Are you hearing it? I mean, it's a different key for sure, but... That's Hearts Burst Into Fire. Now I can't unhear that. So, okay. Well, the question is, which song came first? Huh? Hearts Burst Into Fire or Caustic at the Ties That Bind? Who did the over clean guitars first? That's the big question. You Bullet and Trivium fans can all fight about that in the comments. No, I'm kidding. Okay, why do we like that lick so much? It's that minor 7 note right there that's making it pop, right? You know, so if you've got these lovely chords playing underneath, that minor 7 note in the key, it really brightens things up. And because we're in a minor key here, you've got a lot of minor notes to contend with, and we've seen that throughout the main riff and stuff like that. But if you inject that minor 7 note in there, I've always found that it really starts to chill things out quite a bit, even though it is a minor note. So it works really well in your lead playing as well. And that's why it's so effective, you know, in Hearts Burst Into Fire or Caustic at the Ties That Bind. If you want to write a slow emotive guitar solo, you've really got to have an awareness of what notes are going to work best for you. You want it to be hummable, you want it to be memorable. And that's why yeah, that's why that note works so well. It kind of reminds me of Top Gun a little bit as well. It even does the same. Nah. Do you think he was inspired by this one? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he had the Scream Aim Fire album on the way down to the studio that day. I hope you're all enjoying this Trivium reaction, and just while we're here, I want to take a quick moment to mention my Bullet My Valentine guitar lesson library. So if you've fallen prey to bad Bullet My Valentines in the past, and there's a little bit of confusion there and you want to learn their songs properly, head over to my Bullet My Valentine guitar lesson library, which is over on my Patreon page. This is my ever-growing series of Bullet My Valentine guitar lessons where I break down all their songs and teach you all the guitar parts. Members of the library can also request what songs I do, so if you head on over there and you don't see the song you want to learn, get yourself signed up, put in your request, and you'll get full priority on what I do. The lessons are also available for one-off purchase on my Patreon shop, so you can just buy the lessons outright rather than signing up monthly if that's what you prefer. Members of the library also get access to the stems for each song that I do, so that's guitars, bass, drums, and vocals. Members also have access to my quick lessons series, which are more general guitar lessons where I share my love of guitar theory and other things. So yeah, this is 100% the best way you can support this channel other than hitting like and subscribe, of course. So if you want some Bullet My Valentine guitar lessons, which are in-depth and as accurate as I can possibly get them, head over to my Patreon page and see what's over there. One little nuance that he did there as well, which was nice, was the he sort of slides into that first note, so rather than just like playing the notes one by one, the first one he sort of like slides back into it, which sort of adds to the nuance, you know what I mean? There's so much that you can do as a guitar player to make tone, as it were. You know, just with your hands and the way you pick and attack your notes, or the way you slide into things rather than just picking the note, you know what I mean? So there's so much you can do without having to, you know, turn knobs on your amp. You know, you can just think, okay, I've got this note here. I could slide up into it. I could slide down into it. Which sounds like what he's gone for there. I could hammer into it. Yeah, I could hammer from open. You know, there's loads of choices. You can make it wobble. You can bend up into that note. You know what I mean? There's so many things that set as guitar players apart from one another based on the decisions we would make about one note. So it's always important to keep that in mind.
It surges through our soul, a lack of self-control, a sighing vacant soul.
And look how much he's getting out of that one chord progression, right? So look, what have we got so far? You know, the main riff is like sort of pivoted off of this 4 open 2 idea. He's had leads out of it, right? And now he's got like a clean riff out of it as well. So just with a little bit of know-how, he's been able to move that simple principle all around the fretboard in order to come up with different elements for the song. It's literally one chord progression, just played cleverly, you know? Really, really good. Really, really good.
Plunged headfirst in the deep, nothing for us to keep, only sounding a weep.
Okay, some really honest vocals there from Heafy. That's nice. That's really good. I want to take a look at some of these lyrics. It surges through us all, a lack of self-control, a sighing vacant soul plunged headfirst into the deep. Nothing for us to keep, only sounding a weep. Wow, very melancholic lyrics to go along with a melancholic section of the song, I guess. Can you help me find my way? I've been lost for so long and I don't even know where or if that's wrong. Can you help me? Can you help me? Wow, I cry for help. That's melancholic, man. Okay, let's keep going.
Only sounding a weep.
Very honest vocals there. Production is on point here. I think everything sounds great. Instrumentally, by the way, it sounds really, really good. As good as Shogun was, you know, it's not as sort of shiny and refined as this album, or what I'm hearing from this song anyway. So yeah, it's nice to hear a really sort of like polished version of the band.
Find strength to armor me, to face my enemies. A whisper draining plea.
And look at that, we're still cycling around the same sort of chord progression idea. The song is literally built off of 3 chords. And that's incredible that you can get all this out of just 3 chords. You've got your metalcore riff, you've got your anthemic chord hangs for the chorus. You know, you've got your jangly chords for the bridge section. You've got your chuggy lower chords there, bringing that back around. It's 3 chords. They've got so much just out of 3 chords. Really, really good writing. That's really good. I knew as soon as I figured out this was a 4th fret song. I knew this would be a good one. 4th fret songs just are infallible. They're so good, but the vocal movement there, you know, it was really touching. It was really really honest, really emotional. What he was doing there was really good. Really good. That's good. Feel like I've said a lot of that. That's good. Oh, that's good. Throughout this video. Should that be in the thumbnail? Obviously, I haven't got time to pick apart every note here, but what I'm hearing is just very good, tasteful, melodic lead guitar playing. Some interesting note choices on the trade-off there as well. And then the harmonies, of course, you know, counterpoint is always going to make guitar solos pop, especially for this kind of song. Okay. So there's another really important thing. Up to that point, we've just heard like a load of tasteful shred, I might add. But you can, you know, you run a risk of losing the listener if you go too nuts. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place for that. But with a song like this, which is quite anthemic, clearly Heafy's had a lot to say here lyrically that he wanted to get out. You know, it's melancholic, it's morose, but with maybe a touch of positivity and an acceptance in there, perhaps. It's important to keep the listener interested with your guitar solos. And what they did there is they found a hook. It's hummable, right? That da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, something like that. You stick your harmony on there, or what have you, it's hummable, you know, and it sticks in your head. So think about that when you're writing guitar solos and stuff like that. What are people going to remember? That's good. Again, that's good. His heart's pleasant to fire again. That's incredible. Love the harmonies. I love it because the rhythm guitars have sort of cut out at that point and the bass is carrying it, very much like a Pantera kind of thing. I love it when that happens. It really makes those guitars pop out more, almost like an Iron Maiden kind of thing, I guess, which is school for this this sort of genre where you're doing guitar harmonies and stuff. Hang on. They've done it again. Why do they keep doing that? It's like, and then there's this section. Why do they keep doing that? It's like, it goes back to the Kurasuke Gomen thing. It's like, okay, here's the chorus, bang, like straight into it, no sort of build into it. Let me listen to that again. Was it that out of nowhere? Okay. I guess they had to wrap it up some way. Yeah, very good song. That was very jarring though, that walk out of the solo section. Just, yep, we're done now. Need to wrap it up. Okay, so that one was a lot of fun for me. You know, it was sort of old territory in a lot of ways. You know, I've seen these sorts of songs, you know, many times before. You know, Waken the Demon, Reject Yourself, Killswitch Engage, that sort of thing. But whenever one comes around, I'm always happy because I just know I'm going to get a good song. It's like, oh, it's a 4-fret song. This is going to be good. So yeah, I really liked that. That's probably been one of my favorites so far. I really love those chords they were playing in the middle section. But overall, the production sounded incredible. The vocals, you know, that clean singing part in the middle, I think, well, dare I say it, he's growing on me. The vocals are starting to, I'm starting to accept it. You know what I mean? This is Trivium. I don't want it to sound any other way at this point now. And kind of, I'm starting to get used to what they do. I really liked the honesty in the vocals during that sort of clean break. The musicianship is absolutely on point. Tight rhythm guitar playing, incredible guitar solos. It just seems to be a really fine example of a good Trivium song. And I'm interested to know, is there anybody here who's watching this, you know, who's sat going, no, that's not Trivium at their best. You know, you're listening to the wrong stuff. Let me know. I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me what you think I should be listening to instead. Obviously, this is just one side of the band. I'm kind of enjoying the different facets that this band has to offer throughout the back catalogue. You know, we've had the thrash metal on Ascendancy. Really not my jam. Not thrash metal, but just that album. I'm just not really a fan. But then the Shogun stuff, you know, getting into some of the 7-string stuff, some of the longer songs, you know, that was that's been really fun. And then hearing like a really good sort of concise metalcore song like this with in a different key and a different position on the neck and stuff like that, it's refreshing. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, whoever suggested this one, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this song, and yeah, I'll probably maybe give the rest of this album a spin after this one. I do have to be really careful what songs I do listen to in between these videos, because I know a lot of you guys have requested songs that you want to see me react to. So fear not, there are certain songs that I am saving purely just for the sake of good reactions. So yeah, please keep the requests coming. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed this song. As always, this has been a lot of fun. You guys, the subscribers and watchers, have been amazing. This has been Caustic of the Ties It Band. I've been Nihilist92, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.